Oh dear. It seems the file is missing. Could you be a pal and create it with a list of files to check one per line? Yes. It's kind of fun. That's kind of funny in a way. I kind of like that. Hello and welcome once more. I find it very interesting that we have a new version of ChatGPT. It's 4. I recently just got this update yesterday, actually. I think today maybe. But you know, if we compare the different kind of mods we have the default model, we have the legacy model, and what I have is a paid version of ChatGPT. It's called Plus. The number 4 version explicitly say that compared to the default one, which is the one that I use, commonly, the reasoning is from 3 to 5, and the speed is of course down because, well, it's just a small one. We only have 100 messages every 4 hours for now, and the conciseness is up to 4. So this is very interesting. So I'm thinking, let's try out the GPT-4 model and let's ask some questions. Now, I think it's still got the same ethical restrictions, but they do promise a more reasoning and conciseness, and the speed is probably a bit slow. They also promise more creativity. So let's say, hey, okay, yeah, it is a bit slow, I can see that. Well, let's write some code today in Python. Smiley face. Yeah. So let's see if we can. I'm happy to help you with the Python code. What would you like to create? Okay, so it kind of asked me very good. So the specific problem I have in mind. So yeah, my specific problem is. Let's find a problem. I want to create a Python script that can find various default files on web pages, like robot.txt, sitemap.xml, and so on. Please add 20 more different files to check for. So I understand that you want to create. Now this is kind of different because compared to the other chatbot, let's let this generate. When you choose the GPT 3.5, it kind of, I don't think it kind of says it like that. I think it says it different. You understand? I understand that you want to create a Python script that checks for the existence of variant default files and web pages. Here are a script that should do the job. Using request, make sure to install it first if you already haven't, and it kind of just creates a small function saying check files, and it's very slim, it's slick, I'm sure it works, and it's a for loop, loops it, and alright, so this kind of list could be easily replaced by a file, so we can just tell it make it so that the variable is an actual file we include from the call of the Python script. Let's see if we can understand that. So now it modifies that for us, and let's assume you have a file named, I think it's actually a bit more reflective today. It does it does explain a bit different from what I'm used to. Now, it's been a while since I did this, but just the fact that you can get these kind of scripts this easy kind of make this code very powerful and abstracted in a way away from, having any hard-coded names. The files to check, well, this is of course a choice from the programmer side, that you either, say that this is the name of the file, or, but yeah, you can also just make it like a bit of a parameter. You just point to the file, but I don't really think we need to do that. I think the older versions of ChatGPT would interpret this. I think it did many times where it just would include the actual, parameter call from the command through the command line and say any file that I chose to write, then it would, basically put it there and read it. But in this particular example, it kind of says, I want to, this is a file name. So it's another way. So if that file doesn't exist, so let's say that, okay, so if does not exist, make an error message. Write the error message as a jolly old good fun one. Smiley face. Let's see how it does, because this is gonna be interesting. So it writes the script one more time. That's the thing, because it could, in theory, it could just, say, replace this, or replace this. Anything really would be this, but and the URL to check file name. If it does it right there, which is not the. Okay, so as a programmer, oh dear, it seems the file is missing. Could you be a pal and create it with a list of files to check one per line? Yes. It's kind of fun. That's kind of fun in a way. I kind of like that. Okay, so the problem with this code is that the responsibility of this line should lie into this one. No, this is code that should be put inside this function, and that function should return the constants. Let's try and say, like, okay, so we need to, okay, please refactor the code so that every function have their respective responsibility. I didn't write that. So certainly I refactored the code to make sure each function have a single responsibility. Here's the updated code. So okay. Now we are seeing functions with a specific, goal. It kind of says file exists, it's fine. Read files to check. I like that. Okay, so we have more functions, but they all have their own responsibility. They're easy to call. We have no, yes. So now we're using the function. This is a thing when you have procedural programming. This is the way to go. You create a lot of functions. You call them. And in the end of the day, you wouldn't need to do some if not, whatever when you use them. Now, this of course should be put in another function if this is a standardized behavior. then that should be put in another function, you know. But I think for this particular case, it did a really good job. I would say job done, well done. You know, any day in in a split second, I would give the student, you know, a really good grade for this if the student could explain it. It's just a small exercise. Let's just call it a 1 hour exercise or something like that. This would be really, really good, and I would actually say really, really good. So yeah. Okay, so I think we kind of explored the differences here. You know, it's it kind of approaches the whole explanation a bit differently. I don't see that much explanation. You know, I think it's less. I don't. The other version kind of had a tendency to spam like 4, 5, 6 extra lines, and okay in some occasions. But I think if you really want that, you know, you should basically just take any function. Let's just do an easy one like this one and say like this is the function, and say just press enter. You correctly extracted the file. What? You correctly extracted the file. Is file not found function? Oh. How fun. It tells me that I copy pasted that. The function takes a URL and a file as input arguments and return it. So now it kind of explains that now it does exactly what I suspect it would do as the previous versions did. So I think this is a bit more reflective and creative. So yeah, creative, I think. Yeah. Anyways, I think this video is getting to the end. We explored, you know, ChatGPT version 4 a bit. I really hope you learned something, you liked it, and this was just a quick demonstration. So see you again online and have a really nice day.